record before I forget. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into how to run an organized business without necessarily needing to be a super organized person. All right, here we go. So basically, we have our 3 vital behaviors, right? We want to do personal development, be a product of the product, and invite people. So to me, those are the things I attack first. Those should always be the things that you attack first. Those are my non-negotiables. We throw that word around a lot, non-negotiables. But what that means to me is that I sacrifice negotiable things for the more essential things. So I will be happy to sacrifice, even answering, I hate to say this, guys, but even answering coach questions and coach emails, I do my 3 vitals first before I do anything else. Because I know that that's what's going to move my business forward. And I'm not going to be a very good mentor or coach to you guys if I'm not leading from the front and building my own business. So just a word to those of you who are building your teams and who have, coaches under you. It can be difficult when you start getting people who are just asking you all these questions and so excited to learn, and that's great. You want to be there for them. You want to pour into them, but never at the expense of your own business and your own 3 vitals, because they're going to learn more from your example than from your words. So you got to be living it out and leading from the front, taking care of your own stuff. So what are my non-negotiables? They are, number 1, personal development. Honestly, guys, if I get nothing else done in the entire day, personal development is at the absolute top of my list. It should be at the top of your list too. Here's why. Because every action that I take, if I take those actions in a negative, doubt-filled mindset, all those actions are a waste, more or less, right? Like if I'm answering people's questions, or if I'm trying to invite, or if I'm trying to post inspirational things and I'm doing it from a really negative, doubt-filled, letting all those fear gremlins speak to me, then it's going to come out in all of those actions. So if I start with inviting, but I'm like, nobody's going to buy from me, everybody's going to say no, nobody wants to do this, everybody says it's too expensive, and I just have this it's going to come out in the way that I invite people, and that inviting is going to be such a waste, right? Why even do it if I'm going to do it from that type of negative, doubt-filled mentality? Even my workouts, if I work out and I'm stressed about what's going on, my kids, my house, whatever, if I'm just so in my head and so down, I don't give 100% in my workouts. So why would I waste doing my invites and doing my workouts if they're not even going to be that effective, right? That's a total waste of time. So personal development for me is number 1 on my list. Absolutely the very first thing I do. So in order for me to tackle that first, I have to do a little bit of preparation. So I need to choose what personal development I'm going to do. If you don't know what you're going to read the next day, or you don't know what you're going to listen to, then you're going to waste time trying to figure it out. You're going to go to the podcast store and scroll through all these different podcasts and which one should I listen to? And this one looks good. Oh, so does this one. Or you're going to browse Amazon's audiobooks and read all the reviews. And before you know it, time is totally passing you by. So don't do that. Choose what you're going to read or listen to and already know what it is before the day starts, the night before. You know what your personal development is going to be. Have it ready to go. I have my book on my nightstand. This is my bedroom, by the way. I have my book on my nightstand, or I have my Audible on my phone. It's all ready to go. I literally don't even get out of bed. I wake up, well, actually I do get out of bed, but I wake up, I get my Energize pre-workout drink, shake it up, I get back in bed, and I'm reading my book and I'm drinking my Energize. And it's just I don't even think about it. It's just automatic. That's the very first thing I do. Set your alarm. not just for waking up in the morning, but set your alarm to go to bed the night before. Like, I actually have an alarm on my phone that goes off. I get up super early, so my alarm goes off around like 10:45, and it's like, Vanessa, start getting ready for bed. Because if I listen to that alarm, it's so much easier to listen to my alarm in the morning. But if I blow that one off and I stay up super late, then I'm sabotaging my morning routine. The last thing is, wake up and just automatically reach for it. Don't even think about it. And that's the great thing about having it prepared. That's the great thing about knowing the night before what you're going to do. I even put on my iPhone, like the alarm, you can write something, like whatever you want it to say. And I write, be a boss, read your personal development. So when I wake up, it's just like, oh, that's what I'm doing next. It's just automatic. So having these things in place, knowing what your personal development is, having it ready, setting alarms for yourself, this is because you're being intentional about getting this particular task done. And we're always intentional about things that matter to us. And I will tell you with 100% certainty, if you do not do personal development, your business will not grow. Period. Your business will not grow beyond what you grow. You have to grow yourself in order for your business to grow. So that's why it's number one on my list. It should be number one on your list. I don't even want to hear about not having time, or, you don't know what to choose. Like, just find something that resonates with you. Make the time. 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes is not, seriously, you can find 10 minutes. Like, if anything, like when you need to poop, like, just listen to personal development on your audiobook. Like, we all have 10 minutes that we can spare in the shower. Sometimes I put it on in the shower on my audiobook. Like, just find the time and do personal development every single day. All right. So my second thing that I always, my second vital behavior is being a product of the product. And I know that it feels like inviting should be number one, right? Because when you invite people, then you have the potential of making sales, and right, that's what moves your business forward, right? But no, you have to do personal development first, and you have to be a product of the product second. Because you have nothing to invite to or share about if you aren't living your life in pursuit of health. Like, when I'm not working out regularly, when I'm not eating clean, like, I can't think of anything to post. I can't think of I don't have any desire to invite people to stuff. I'm just kind of like, meh. But when I'm like feeling strong, eating clean, just thriving, then I can invite people to things, and it's authentic. It's like, oh my gosh, guys, you have to try the 21-day fix. It's so great. Look at these muscles. You just let the energy of being consistent with your workouts be what attracts people to you. And when you invite them, you're not inviting out of duty. You're inviting out of genuine love of what these programs are doing for you, for your body, for your progress. Maybe you still have weight to lose. Like, crush it, lose that weight. Like, that's what gives you credibility, and if you don't have a ton of weight to lose, like, do it for the energy, the vitality, the stress release, sleeping better, having better mental clarity. Like, the list goes on and on of why working out just is so amazing for your body. And so you have to have something to invite people to, and that's being consistent in your fitness journey. So that's number two. So the way that I make that one happen is I schedule my workouts, and I set up my meal plans, and, I don't mess around. Now, I can say that I've been totally slacking in this area this past week, but just today I set up my meal plan, and today is like the first day in a very long time that I've actually stuck to my 21-day fix containers and meal plan. And oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Like, I don't know why I thought I could just wing it and just like, oh, I've been doing this for a while, I can just figure it out. Like, it's so much better to have my plan in place. Like, it doesn't take that long. Just make a plan, make a meal plan every week. Schedule your workouts. It's your job to work out. It's like, that is your job is to be consistent in your workouts. So if you put inviting ahead, or, running a fancy group, or doing, fun little contests or whatever, like that's all great, but those are extras. You work out first, and then you try and fit in that other stuff if you can. So schedule your workouts, get your meal plans together. I like to do my meal plans for the week, and I like to do my schedule for the month. So I know my entire month. And the great thing is, if you're doing a Beachbody program, they have the calendar for you, right? If you're doing a hybrid, maybe you might need to make your own calendar. But for the most part, they have the calendar for you. Put it where you can see it, so you're not just scrolling through Beachbody on demand, just like, oh, what workout should I do? Should I try this one? Like, no, I know what I'm doing today. I'm doing this one, and push play and get it done with. So then the third vital behavior that you want to do is inviting, obviously. That means sending messages, personal messages, to 3 people every day, and also expanding your network. I include expanding your network in inviting, because you can only invite the same people so many times. You need to think about getting your message, your passion, this life-changing tools out to other people. So I send messages to 3 people, and then I add 3 people to my friends list. I do that on Facebook. Sometimes I do it on Instagram. I'll follow 3 new people, or I'll find 3 new Instagram accounts and like their pictures and interact with them, maybe comment. So I'm reaching out to new people, letting them know that I'm here, and starting to build relationships with them. So the way that I do this without having to spend a whole lot of time is I make a list for the month, and I fill in 3 names for each day of the month. Now, the cool thing is, I've been doing this almost my entire career as a Beachbody coach. Sounds kind of weird to say that. But the cool thing is that Carl Deichler actually created an awesome little sheet for you. So I'm going to do a screen share real quick just so you can see what it looks like. So this is a PDF that you can find. I'm going to post the link in the Shine Tribe, and it's got plant 3 seeds every day. It's got for October, November, and December. Now, you could just write 3 names after you've invited them. So let's say you sit down and you look and let me try this person, and then you write their name down. Or you could be proactive, and you could fill out the entire month. These are the 3 people I want to invite every day this month. I like to do that because it just takes the guesswork out of it. And one of the biggest time wasters is scrolling through Facebook, right? That is what always gets me. I'll just be scrolling through Facebook for forever, trying to find new people to invite. Really, I am just wasting time liking my friends' pictures of their babies, whatever, which is fine to do, but not during my work time. During my work time, I want to be focused so that I can get as much done in as little time and get back to my kids, get back to my husband, my family who I'm doing this for. So I would encourage you to print out those planting seeds list and write in the 3 names for all of November. You haven't invited them yet, but on November 2nd, I'm inviting Lisa, Jenny, and Sarah. They're already there. You just search for them on Facebook, you send them the invite, and you're done. That makes it so much easier, guys. So much easier. So you could just take like a Saturday, maybe if your husband is home on the weekends, if you have kids, and just ask him for like an hour or 2, that you can go to a Starbucks and just go through your friends list and fill it out till the end of the year. Could you imagine? You have that filled out to the end of the year, literally till the end of the year. Every person that you're going to invite and what day you're going to invite them on. Like, how cool is that? Like, then you can just sit down and get your power hour done like that. Wake up, drink your Energize, read your personal development, get your workout done, sit down, invite your 3 people, check into your groups. Dude, you could be done by like 7 a.m. with all your Beachbody work and just hang with your kids all day. Like, how great is that? And you would know that you actually are doing the activities that's moving your business forward. That's what I want for you, is to be able to literally sit down in an hour and just hash it out. All right, so that is how I do my 3 vital behaviors. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. I know that we're not all the same. So take this and customize it for you, but definitely the biggest thing that I would encourage you to do is have a plan. That's the theme through everything that I've been saying. With your personal development, know what you're going to read and have a plan of when you're going to read it. With your invites, know who you're going to invite. With your workouts, know what workout you're going to do and when you're going to do it. So obviously, we all have wrenches that get thrown into our schedules, but at least you have a plan and a routine to fall back on 80% of the time. And if 20% things get out of whack, that's fine. But having that structure in place is going to help you so much. And I don't think you have to be a huge planner or organized person to put those things in place. They're fairly simple. So now I'm going to move on to what are the biggest time wasters that we run into, and some tools and tips that can help you to avoid those time wasters. So for me, the biggest time waster is scrolling on Facebook. I think that's most of us. Our business is on Facebook or Instagram. That's awesome. It's fun, but it's also very distracting. So I would encourage you to look up the Kill Newsfeed plugin for the Chrome browser. So Chrome is the browser that Google uses or created. If you have a Mac, you probably have Safari as your basic browser. If you have a PC, it's probably like Internet Explorer or Firefox or something. Download Chrome and get the Kill Newsfeed plugin. Just Google Kill Newsfeed and it'll show. It's super easy to install. Basically, that is going to, when you log into Facebook, you will not see your newsfeed at all. It'll say, don't be distracted by Facebook. And it'll completely wipe out your newsfeed. Now, on the side, you're still going to be able to see all of your groups. You can click on the groups, go into the groups. They're all the same. You can check in with your challengers. You can access all your messages. It's just the newsfeed that gets hidden from you. And this is by far the best thing I've ever done for my time management, is to just do that on my computer. I still have it on my phone, so I can still check up with what you guys are posting and like people's stuff, and I'm still in the loop. But when I'm doing my power hour, I'm on my computer, and I am focused, and I don't want my newsfeed on my computer. It just helps me out a lot. The next thing that I tend to waste time on, and probably you do too, is trying to get inspiration for posts that are going to add value to people, right? We try to do 3 to 5 posts a day, most of them being value-adding posts or posts that just show a bit of our personality, a bit of our life, to connect with people on Facebook. So you can get lost scrolling on Pinterest trying to find an inspirational quote or a value-adding recipe or whatever it is that you're trying to bring to people. So I would encourage you to limit that to maybe once a week, looking for value-adding posts on Pinterest, saving it all to either one Pinterest board that I actually have a Pinterest board. It's a secret board that nobody else can see, and I call it adding value. So whenever I come across a cool tip about drinking water or the best time to work out or whatever, I come across a tip and I'm like, my audience would really benefit from that. I want to make that into a post. I post it to my adding value pin board, and I do it maybe once a week. So then when it's my power hour, I go to Pinterest and I go right to that value adding board. It's much smaller than all of Pinterest. It's the things that I've already kind of selected as being really good stuff. And I make my posts from that. So that just saves me a lot of time from wasting on Pinterest. And it just keeps it to one day, to one little time of the week, instead of every day I got to post something value adding and I'm searching and I'm wasting all this time. The other thing that I do to help me post value adding posts is I actually have a note on my phone called social media. And whenever I get an idea, obviously you always get ideas at the most inconvenient time. My kids are throwing a tantrum, or, I got to get the groceries out of the car. There's milk in the back. But I got an idea for a post, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I just put it in my phone and I just write something that hopefully will help trigger my memory later on. And then I have this whole like collection of inspirational, value adding, motivating posts in my phone. So when I sit down to do my power hour and I'm checking in with my groups and I know I want to post something in the morning to like really get people motivated, if I'm drawing a blank, I've got backup, I've got my Pinterest board, and I don't have to waste a lot of time. It's like already good stuff. I've already thought about it. It's good stuff. And I can just put it on my Facebook. So the last thing that we tend to waste time doing is trying to figure out what to do, especially if you're a newer coach, right? You sit down and it's your power hour. Maybe you don't have a ton of people messaging you yet. Maybe you're trying to still like drum up excitement and momentum for your business, and you're like, okay, what do I do? Like, what do I do right now? Do I, you kind of like check into the team page, you see if there's any like stuff, like you kind of just piddle around, but you don't really know if this is building your business. So that's where the Revitalize checklist is golden. The Revitalize checklist is something that is in our Shine Tribe page. And if you didn't know, you can actually search just within our Shine Tribe page. On the top right-hand corner of the Shine Tribe Facebook page, there's a little search box, and it will search just our page. And also, if you click on photos, there aren't a ton of photos that have been posted in our page, so you could probably easily find the Revitalize checklist in the photos of our Shine Tribe, or just search for it. So the Revitalize checklist is fantastic. If you just do this, there's 8 things to do every day, 8 things. If you just do those 8 things every day, I guarantee you, your business will grow like crazy. So I would say if you're like, I don't know what to do, searching around, just print out the Revitalize checklist, focus on getting each thing done, and shut your laptop and get back to your life. that is going to be the best thing for you. So hopefully those tips are helping you to kind of think through how to just be organized and focused on, what you need to do to move your business forward and getting it done quickly without overcomplicating it. It does not have to be overcomplicated. 10 minutes of personal development, knock that workout out, check in with your groups, motivate people on Facebook, invite your 3 people that you wrote down. Just say, hey, how are you doing? Wanted to catch up with you, whatever. Are you interested in joining my challenge group? But, obviously you need to form a little more than that. But, it doesn't have to be complicated. Just focus on what you need to get done. Do it as quickly as possible, because I know we're all busy. But this is one of those businesses where you can't just save all of your work for a Saturday. You can't just save all of your work for once a week. Just like brushing your teeth, you wouldn't brush your teeth like for 5 hours on a Saturday and just not brush your teeth every other day of the week. You have to do it every single day, but it's not a lot of work. It's not a lot, it's just your 3 vitals: expand your network, live a healthy lifestyle, help other people do the same thing. So I hope that is encouraging to you guys. I have a feeling there may be some questions. If you have a specific situation, I know we all have different schedules. I know some of us are students, some of us are moms, some of us work full time. So if you have questions or a specific, vital behavior that you're struggling with fitting in, I would love to just open it up to you guys and hear from you where I can help you. Because honestly, this is something that I really, really struggled with. And I believed that I could find the time to do all of this stuff. And I really struggled with finding the time. And I just kept at it until I figured out what worked for me. So it's not going to be perfect or pretty at the very beginning. But if you have your eye on the prize, you know what you need to accomplish, just start finding those little pockets in your day and then just latch onto them, hold on to those pockets and try and get your work done just really efficiently plan ahead, so that, we don't want Beachbody to like take over every waking moment of our life, right? We want to be able to live, invest in our kids, invest in our spouse, invest in our church, our friends, our family, our community. So that's why I think it's really important to do this quickly. That's the word. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you have any, or you can unmute yourself and ask it verbally. Or if you have your own tips on how you get stuff done, because everybody has their own like little secrets. I do a lot of voice messages also from my phone in the car when I get messages that my inbox doesn't overflow. I was telling Melissa this when we were going to Super Saturday. If you guys get voice messages from me, that's like my little secret. So if I'm in the car, I just have Siri read me my voice messages and I respond back to them. And that way when I get home, I don't have like a million messages that I have to spend time on. Christy said she's going to use the Kill the News feed. It's fantastic. I didn't realize that Team Beachbody doesn't work on Chrome. That's good to know. So if I'm running into problems with it, I'll switch over to my other browser. Yeah, the back office is always kind of hit or miss. Cool. Yeah, Kill the News feed is great. It's really great. Has everyone used, has anybody not used the Revitalize checklist? Is everybody familiar with that checklist? All right, Jamie says, does anybody do their work at night? That's the only time to sit down and focus. Yeah, when I first started, I did most everything at night because my baby was 4 months old and like waking up like every 3 hours still. He didn't sleep till he was like a year old. So, so yeah, I did a lot. I did most of it at night, but I do prefer mornings. Even if it's just personal development, and for me, even if I can just do personal development and workouts in the morning, because personal development's 10 minutes and you could even listen to it while you're working out. So, you could kill two birds with one stone on that one. So even if I can do personal development and workouts in the morning, I tend, especially if I have those 3 names already written out, I tend to be able to like shoot out an invite or 2 or 3, just, at lunch. My kids are only still when they're eating. So at lunch, if they're eating, I'll just like whip out my phone and send like 3 voice messages. Hey, so-and-so, like, good to hear from you. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. 3 messages and I'm done. Yeah, that's just, Haley says that she gets nervous messaging people. It gets easier. It just with practice, you just have to keep doing it and it does get easier. And if you're like a list person who likes to check things off, sometimes I just like look at those 3 invites on my checklist and I'm like, I want to check them. I just want to check them off. So I'm just going to close my eyes and do it and get it done. So, yeah. Usually the quicker I get it done, the less I think about it, the easier it is. But you have to do it. Truly, it's one of those things where you just have to be like, okay, do I want to be successful at this or do I not? If I do, I have to invite 3 people every day, or at least talk to 3 new people every day about what's going on in their life, how they're doing, how I can help them, whatever. Yeah, you got to step out of your comfort zone. And if being successful is not that important to you, then just quit being a coach. Like, don't even try, like you're either in or you're out. You're either, wanting to do this and willing to trust the process and invite 3 people every day, or just decide it's not for you and you just keep on with your healthy lifestyle, because that's the only way. Like, people do not barge down your door asking and begging to be in a challenge group. Like, that does not happen. People are scared. People are skeptical. People, really, the biggest reason why people do not want to join your challenge group is because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they will be successful, and they don't want to fail again. That is the biggest reason why people don't do challenge groups. It's not about the money. They say it's about the money because, that's the easiest excuse to give. But it's that they don't believe in themselves. That's why people don't become coaches, and that's why they don't do challenge groups. So if you can help them and talk them through that you believe in them and that they can do this, and you believe in them enough so that they believe in themselves, then you will find much more success with people joining your challenge groups, because that's really what holds people back. They just don't believe in themselves. So even if you just make that your goal when you're inviting people, like, you're not inviting them, you're just inviting them to believe in themselves, to believe that they can do this. That's really, it's fear that holds people back. Caroline says, how do you fit that in, forming? How do you fit that in between inviting and expanding? Do you plan that in advance? Forming is the same as inviting for me. So let's say I have 3 invites to do. Let's say person number 1, I've never talked to them before. I'm not going to invite them to my challenge group right off the bat. I'm just going to see how they're doing. I'm just going to ask them, how's life? What are they up to these days? Maybe I usually try to compliment everybody who I talk to. I always try to compliment them, tell them, how whatever cute their kids are, whatever. That's forming. That's my one. I count that as my one. Well, in the Revitalize checklist, they're very strict about this. You have to connect with 3 people, and then you also invite 3 people. So Revitalize definitely takes it to the next level, and I think that's better. It's harder, but it's better. But beforehand, when I would just list 3 people at the very beginning of being a coach, I would, I would kind of count that as inviting. Yeah, Savannah says that she constantly comments on people's photos on their newsfeed. I don't think it's a time waster, because I think that is a part of forming, because then, I don't know, I notice when there's somebody who's constantly commenting and liking on my stuff, I'm like, wow, she really likes me. Wow, if there's somebody, you see their name popping up all the time, liking your stuff, it's pretty affirming. Oh gosh, we've got less than a minute. Well, Jamie, we've all got to run before this thing implodes on us. Sometimes I feel like it's a bomb about to go off, and I have to. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. I am going to be hosting the BTFP call on Thursday. So if you can make it, I would love your support. It's going to be a really great topic about expanding to your cold market. So it's a really important topic. So thanks again, guys, for being on the call. Have an awesome week. Bye.